Hello, my name's Tony and welcome back to Fragdicted. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about a subscription service from Yú Parfums. So if you're on Instagram, thank you so much for watching this. If you're on YouTube and you are a current subscriber, thank you again for joining me. I just wanted to talk about this brand because they're bringing quite a unique, interesting subscription service to us, and I love the branding and the way it works. So I'd just like to talk to you about that today and what they offer, give you the costs and what's involved and the fragrances that you get in there. I was kindly sent edition 3 and this is from 2021. Now, firstly, I would just like to run through the presentation, which I think is brilliant. So they sit on your shelf like that, just like a book would. It opens like a book and it's a magnetic shutter. And then when you open the box, you get your travel atomizer and you get the free 10 ml fragrances, as well as some personalised sample cards. So as you can see, I think the presentation is fantastic. I love the brushed aluminium effect that you get with that. It's like a dark, almost black grey brushed aluminium, which I think looks fantastic. Very classy. You get a chrome, sort of dark chrome top, and on the front of there it says, and chapter 8. So what you do is you just pop that into the atomizer and until it pops down so you can't see it. Then you twist it and it pops out the top, and they've got really good wide mist atomizers on them. Now, what I also like about these is when you pop them out, they are completely refillable. They are glass atomizers, so you can undo that. So if you've run out completely, you'll be able to wash this out and reuse it again. So really, really nice presentation from the brand. I'm really impressed by that. Let's get some admin out of the way first of all. So Yú Parfums create bi-monthly, gender-neutral scent editions. And each edition will come as a book. This is the 3rd edition. So there has been 2 previous to this with 3 scents in either. They're called chapters. So I have chapters 7, 8 and 9 in this edition. They are vegan and ethically sourced materials, and they are cruelty free. So every 2 months, so bi-monthly, a new edition gets released, and these cost £40 per edition. So bear in mind that's every 2 months. So for £40 you get 30 millilitres of completely unique niche perfume, and you get the atomizer holder, which the atomizer itself actually slots into. So the scents have been developed by world-renowned perfumers, or authors as they are referred to on their website, and each chapter in each edition is completely unique, a first-time created fragrance. So every 2 months you'll get 3 complete surprise new fragrances that no one else has tried before, because they have been created for this brand only. The size of this means that it can be sent as a large letter. That will fit through your letterbox whether you are home or not, so you don't have to worry about that. Each edition will usually have a theme, but each chapter in that theme will be a surprise every 2 months. So you can take a 6-month or 12-month subscription. If you pay for 6 months up front, you can buy that for £105 and you get 3 editions for that, and then they work out to be a little bit cheaper at £35 each. If you stick to the bi-monthly, they're £40 per edition. Right, so you fall in love with one of the fragrances that are in your edition and you decide you want to buy a bottle. Can you do that? Yes, you can. You can buy a 100 ml bottle. I'll leave a picture of the bottle on the screen for you. Really good looking bottles, and you get free engraving with that to make it completely personalised to you. So it gives it a lovely personal touch, and each bottle is £120, and that is for the 100 ml. So let's move on to the edition that I got through now. All of that admin's out the way. I felt that you need to know a little bit of the background and then what the service is about before I actually talked about this edition and what comes in this box. And the theme of this edition is simply significant. So these are minimalistic, gender neutral, linear and clean compositions. The perfumer's brief was to explore discreet and intimate skin-like scents that hold a presence, so they've still got something about them, but they never become too overpowering. All of the chapters in this edition are completely layerable, and they will work wonderfully well with the previous editions that have been released, so you can explore what these smell like on top of the 6 previous chapters that have been released. These need to be on skin to bloom. They have been worked so they really do shine on skin rather than the blotters or cards. But they are completely unique compositions. So should we get the first one out? So this is chapter 7. So this was created by the perfumer Claudine de Vogel. So what does it smell like? Let me just give it a quick sniff. Yeah, so it's got this metallic note in there. It's got some rose, so it's a slightly floral scent, but it's very ozonic. It's very fresh, it's very clean, quite musky, and quite a simple composition. It's quite sort of like a slight watery rose in there, but the metallic note is quite evident. But it's also got this hint of like real freshness to it. The notes in this are musks, amber, metallic rose, an iced peppermint note, some woody tones, and some cashmere white patchouli. And it's got this elixir fusion that they refer to on there. Overall, very, very pleasant. It's not overly complex, it's not meant to be, but it does smell good. On to chapter 8. This was created by Dominic Rieses. This is calming, gentle, and warming. So this has a musky ambrette note. It evolves into a creamy amber, vanilla, and musk. It has some molybdenum, which gives off a slight incense feel, and it has a tiny hint of black and white pepper. The notes on this really intrigued me, especially the ambrette note and mixed with that vanilla and the peppers and stuff. So now what is this like on the skin? So I've got this on my skin now. I'm going to have a little top up on there, and then I'll talk to you about what I get from it. Now, I found it to be quite sweet, very, very musky, really musky. But what I really like about it, it gives off this like clean, washing, soapy accord to it. And it really sort of sticks to the skin, and it almost like acts like a moisturiser. It makes the skin really soft where it's been sprayed, and like quite smooth. So it leaves this sort of layer, but it's not a greasy layer. Like you just put a very faint smelling moisturiser on your hand, but it's quite sweet. I really like it. I would say this is my favourite of the 3. So sorry, little spoiler alert ahead of number 9, but this is definitely my favourite and something I'm really, really going to enjoy wearing. I think that little hint of the peppers and the vanilla with that musks and the ambrette and that slight hint of like an incense just resonates with me really, really well. So I really like this one. This is chapter 8. Moving on to the last chapter in this edition, this is chapter 9. This was created by Alexandra Kaczynski, and this is Sensuous, Mineral and Serene. It has amber, tonka, leather, saffron and cardamom and a warm sandalwood. So this sounded the most interesting to me. And when I spray it is definitely the strongest of the 3. It has the strongest profile. It should be the one I like the most. And actually, I really, really love the leather note in this. It is so smooth and very, very soft, not overly done. It takes it in a sort of slightly dirtier feel than you get from the other 2. I'm trying to use a different word to animalic because it's not animalic at all, but when you compare it to the other 2, it does feel a bit dirtier. It's got this slight Middle Eastern feel to it, which I really, really like. And I think that's coming from that sort of warm sandalwood with that slightly dirty note in there, but it's not challenging at all. Really, really like this one as well. This is a close second. You know what? It's completely different to the one that I said was my favourite, so it is very difficult to judge. But I do like this a lot. This is very, very interesting. That was my overall thoughts on this edition and edition 3. So as you've seen, quite an interesting concept, something that I've certainly enjoyed opening and getting to grips with and learning about the company. Really interested to see what the future editions hold for the company and what their perfumers come up with. A fabulous idea, and hats off to them. And I don't think, you know what, for 30 ml of niche fragrance, I think it's pretty good value too. So thanks a lot for joining me and learning a little bit about Yú Parfums. You take care of yourself and don't forget to keep smelling wonderful.